The long and forgotten Black Cauldron, which is a 1985 Disney film, classic film, hand drawn, of course. Which I miss that type of animation. They don't really do that anymore. But yeah, I grew up with this on VHS, of course, in the early 2000s. I remember the ending, like the very last ending of the movie, where at the end there was like a little, I think it was a Donald Duck short or some type of mini ducks, or it was like I forget, but there was like a, always remember that short at the end of the tape. You would get like a little Disney short of duck, mini ducks adventures or whatever. But anyway, the Black Cauldron is pretty much a black sheep of Disney. Disney wants to forget, apparently, because of how much it bombed when it came out and how it was rejected and edited because of stupid parents' complaints of it's too dark for children. It's based off, I believe, a 5-book novel series, which I don't know how faithful this is to that, the novels, but yeah, you have a character named Taran, or Taran, I think it's Taran. Pretty much, he's a pig keeper, hoarder person. He dreams of becoming a knight, a warrior knight someday, and pretty much it's sort of like a Luke Skywalker type story where you have this young guy or kid dreams of being something more than what he is now. He gets called to be a hero, and he meets a princess. He meets a furry Gurgi friend, which I thought was pretty funny. I don't think he's even in the books at all. I don't know if he was just created for this movie or what, but you have the Horned King, who's pretty much the Darth Vader, Palpatine, Evil Emperor type. I will say he's way better than Skeletor in every way, because he's more threatening. He's scary, for sure. Even his entrance, his second entrance, not the first one, his second entrance when he's with his human soldier dudes, and he just appears with smoke around and a lightning strike, and it's just awesome. I like his entrance, his second entrance, which that should have been his first entrance, not the first where it's him walking into a room with his little green creeper fellow, who I will say they call him the creeper in this, but he was funny. Like he's pretty much a lackey to the Horned King. He's pretty much a coward as well, but you have Taryn, you have a princess, a long way. I don't know how to pronounce her name. She's said to be a princess, but we never really go into her backstory much at all, really. You have another character, Herwin, or Hedwin. Yeah, Henwen. Or no, that's, never mind, that's the pig, I'm sorry. There's another human character, I forget his name, but he's pretty much he's an older fellow, but he's like a funny comic relief character. He has this weird relationship with the harp that he has, where it seems like it's alive, because it, like, whenever he like says something of, I guess he lies, it like the strings like break off of it, like I guess he's able to communicate with it somehow. So it's sort of like a Pinocchio, Geppetto type relationship there. But I mean, in this movie, but again, it was very heavily edited or cut, alternated, because it was either too dark at times or the visuals were too scary for children, apparently. I mean, you could sort of tell towards the climax where there's some. It seems like it was very, very rushed. It seems like because pretty much when Tyrant gets a magic sword at one point, he ends up giving that up for the Black Cauldron because the evil Horned King wants to reanimate his dead soldiers, skeleton soldiers, to wreak havoc, I guess. And the pig headwind can tell the future through ponds of water, and pretty much it can tell where the Black Cauldron would be. And pretty much but yeah, when Terran loses the sword, the movie kind of is not as action oriented, because when he has a sword, he's able to cast spells with it or fight off the evil soldiers of the Horn King. But when he loses it, and then it's kind of lame, because then he doesn't really do anything after that. They get captured twice in this. Granted, Gerby does save the day. He ends up sacrificing himself, but then that is undercut because then he gets brought back by the end, so then it's not really, I would have preferred if he actually died, because then, it would have brought actual weight to his character of not being a coward, and then, because he's a coward throughout the movie, but then by the end he sacrifices himself, but then these three witches, or I don't know what to call them, evil women spirits, they like to bargain a lot. They're sort of like, it's like they're fans of Hellraiser or Pinhead. We like to bargain. We'll bargain you for the sword for the Black Cauldron, or the Black Cauldron for the sword. But they're able to bring Garby back, which, again, I do like the character, but the fact that he, sacrificed himself, it was a heartwarming, meaningful scene, and then it gets undercut again by him being resurrected by the end. So it's like, whatever. And this was also looked at as one of the most expensive animated films at the time of all time, at the time of the 1980s, in terms of animation. And it was also banned in some places, which I'm like, come on, get out of here. It seems to have a somewhat of a cult following, because some people like it after years of it, being rediscovered. I always was a fan of it, but yeah, I don't know about the books. I don't know. I would have liked if they did I don't know how you would do a sequel to this though. But and also you don't really know much about Terran. Matter of fact, like you don't. All you know about him is that he's a pig keeper. You don't know any, like, does he have parents? I guess not. He has no siblings? I guess not. Um, Same with the princess. Although she's a princess, it's sad, but we never even see her kingdom at the end. Don't know much about Gerby. The fact that he, is a thief at first, and then, you don't really know much about these characters, matter of fact, come to think of it. Like, you get very, very little of anything of their backstories, which kind of sucks. Because I do wonder if the books, I'm sure the books delve into that, but man. But the animation's not top notch, for sure. Classic Disney, animation. Voice acting, I thought was really good, for the most part anyway. I really like the Horned King voice actor. The guy that played the voice of the Creeper, I thought was decent. Not amazing, but decent. Roy was given. Um, but yeah, overall, it's still a classic to me. I don't get the hate for it, because some people actually do passionately hate this movie. Um, which, again, I don't understand. But I will say, if I had a problem, if I had to give it some cons, I will say character development or backstory, I think, should have been added in some of the beginning, at least. Um, I mean, we get more explanation of the Horn King than we do Tyrant and the other people. So, oh, we also get a scene where you meet these fairy people, which I thought was, I like that scene of the little fairy people underground, and you have this one grumpy fairy guy. I forget his name, but he looked like a mini little sailor because he's dressed like in almost like pajama, like with a nightcap on, and I don't know. He seemed like a sailor to me more than like your classic boat looking guy in like a raincoat or whatever. But yeah, overall, I like the film. I do have it on DVD. Um, so yeah, I do think people should give it a watch if you are into classic Disney. But also, I will say I love the fact that it's not a musical as well. So it's actually a decent, good classic animated film with some action, some scary visuals for sure. Even the death of the Horn King, I would say, is the most. I was surprised they kept that in there. They can keep him melting, melting off his flesh, being sucked into the black cauldron. We'll keep that in there, but decapitations of skeleton soldiers and or of human soldiers, I guess that's out, or you know, even there's like blood, I believe, leaking from the black cauldron when Gerby jumps in, which I thought was wow. So yeah, this movie is a bit out there for sure, a bit, not much, but there in terms of edginess. So I will give it points for that. Um, Thanks for listening, and leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share.